You are listening to the Sock Cop Sockcast. Please enjoy this audio at a reasonable speed.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for checking out the Sockcast. I am your old pal Sock Cop, and this is the Sockcast in which we talk to, people that are willing to talk to me about cool and interesting things that they do. And I'm very excited about my guest today. Everybody says that, don't they? Every time you listen to a podcast, you ever listen to one where they're like, you know what, I'm not really excited to be talking about this guy, but, they booked it and here we are. So I guess I'll jabber at him for an hour or whatever. Like, nobody ever says that. But I am. I really mean it. I mean it, Rupert. I mean it. That I'm very excited to be talking to my guest today, Mr. Rusty Sarhan. Rusty Sarhan, yes indeed. He's a very, very funny man. Very funny man. And he actually won a contest. It was a reality show called First Impressions that he won. It was fantastic. And he does stand-up comedy. He does sketch comedy. He does impressions that would blow your mind. Blow your mind. I've known him for a very long time. He's a good friend of mine. Please welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, the very handsome, ooh la la, Rusty Sarhan. Yes, indeedios. How you doing, my friend?
Suck up. Hey, friend. I don't know if I've actually officially met you.
No, I don't think so. You sort of left town right about the time I arrived in my time traveling machine. So I don't think we've ever been properly introduced, but I do know you. By reputation. I'm a big fan of yours. I've seen a lot of your work, and I'm excited to be talking to you.
I didn't want to. I wasn't in the mood to get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really enjoy, citations. So I figured it was best that I need to jet.
Yeah. No. Well, that's a good idea. If you was a speeder, it's probably a good idea to just go ahead and get out of town, because you will eventually get that ticket. There's no two ways about it. So there we go. So where are you located on the earth?
So just imagine, you've got this little revolving. Let's pause right here. This is me. I'm in Los Angeles.
Right. Oh, Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles, California.
Okay, you take like a kind of a slight dip, in Santa Monica is kind of, if you really want to know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Santa Monica. That's where you can find me.
Okay, I believe that is Italian for Saint Monica, named after the lady from Friends, I believe.
It is, and we all drive the same blue Prius.
Mm-hmm.
We all eat avocado toast for breakfast. So whatever you think Santa Monica is, we're it.
Well, that's good.
That's us.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about what is out there with Santa Monica. You say Santa Monica, and I go Santa Claus. And then I start thinking about what I want for Christmas, and then next thing you know, I forgot all about California. So, that's just the way it goes.
Well, I think of Los Angeles. I think of angels. I think of putting the angel on top of the tree. So again, Christmas.
Oh yeah, it always goes back to the Christmas. It always goes back to Christmas.
I feel like everything goes back to Christmas.
It does eventually if you follow it down. It's sort of like the Kevin Bacon of holidays. It's it's always related in some sort of way. You can't get away from it.
In some sort of way, you're going to come back to the putting decorations on the tree. But again, Kevin Bacon. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about him for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Do you live in Los Angeles? Do you know Kevin Bacon?
So I live in Los Angeles. That's where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where Kevin Bacon is, but I think he lives around where I live. So I think I know Kevin Bacon.
So basically, you're probably about 6 doors down or so from Kevin Bacon. I would have.
Hang on one second. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, you see him out there?
Yeah. Sorry, he'll stop by every now and then.
Oh,
I just got it.
We don't.
He is not that important.
No, I don't. No, we don't need to talk to Kevin Bacon. I'd much rather talk to you. You, my friend, are a very talented stand-up comedian and actor. You're sort of like a jack of all trades. You're just like an entertainment sort of nuclear bomb that can just go off at any time. And that's pretty cool.
And unfortunately, sometimes bombs can sizzle out and never explode at all. And some people view bombs as threats.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly what I am.
Yeah, you're a multifaceted man. There's a lot of layers and things to you and stuff like that. So you're doing the stand up comedies. You was telling me you go down to the Comedy Store.
Yeah,
and peddle your
we were
wares.
talking about stand up, and you know, I don't know if I told you this, but I did years ago when I was living in Mobile. Dude, I did stand up at Serta's.
Oh,
a couple times.
Yeah.
Serta's coffee shop. That was my first time I ever did stand up.
Oh,
anyway, fast forward. I did stand up at the Comedy Store. Did stand up at the Viper Room.
Ooh,
but yeah, the Comedy Store is really, really cool. I hope that you get the chance to do stand up there one day, Mr. Sock.
I would love to. If I is that can you just like show up and do the things there, or do you have to like be on some sort of Illuminati list, or how does that work?
Both. Monday nights you definitely can just show up. I think there's a long line. So if you like standing in long lines just to tell, I believe, 3 minutes of your material.
Oh yeah, I love standing in line.
That's option one. Yeah. Option two, you have to be in a secret society that knows people. If you're not in the Illuminati, we do have Scientology. So I mean, you have so many options coming out here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't consider that. I always thought there was just sort of one way to go about it, but I guess in these modern times, there's plenty of different ways to break into the business, as they say, and do it.
Oh yeah.
So you're hanging around there. What are you seeing? Like other comedians and things that are famous, or all the famous ones out? Do you know Kirk Fox by any chance? I do know Kirk Fox. Yeah, I tried to get him on the podcast, and he didn't want to do it. Well, actually, he did.
Why?
No, he did want to do it. He said he would do it, but he didn't like doing it over Skype. Now, this was before everybody started doing Skype and things like that. He said he worked better, like with people actually in a room. And I was like, well, that's okay. If he's like, if you was in Los Angeles, I'd do it, but you're not. So I don't know. Maybe his attitude about that has changed since a lot of things have gone digital low this past year or so. So maybe I ought to ask him again. But you know that guy?
Oh, I definitely don't know him, but I saw him almost every time I was there. He just seemed to kind of be this tall, stoic individual. And then he'd get up there and he'd start telling his jokes. He'd start telling his jokes. He'd just be doing it just out of nowhere. And he's got this mustache, which again, you know a thing or two about that.
That's what we bonded over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I hope you get him on.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, if you ever talk to him, then be like, hey, that sock cop guy, remember that guy? And he'll be like, no. And then just be like, well, goodbye.
He would remember.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's fun. That's a very good impression, which is a perfect segue to start talking about your talent with impressions. Now, where did that come from? Did you start doing impressions when you was like a wee babe? Did you start
literally a wee babe?
Yeah.
I think I was like 3 months old doing Sean Connery.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
So just imagine little baby Russ doing, watching Entrapment. Did you get the Varsh? Love that movie. But, yeah, man, I got a really animated family. And when they tell stories, they mimic like the stories and the people that they had interactions with. And so I was always watching that. I was fascinated with the characters they would build, and so I would build characters off of that. And yeah, I don't know. I just like I think that people are fascinating, their mannerisms, their sounds, and because some people are like they get offended if you do an impression of them, and I'm just like, oh no, I think it's the opposite. I think like you're so infatuated with everything about that person, you're just like, this is what you're all about.
Right. Yeah, you kind of distill them into that essence. You were talking about the childhood thing. So are you an only child? You got brothers and sisters? What was that situation?
I'm an only child. Again, this is going to go back to Christmas for a second, but I was always asking Santa for an older brother and older sister. Not younger for some reason, but an older brother or an older sister.
That's a tricky one.
Always wanting sibling. Uh-huh.
That's a tricky one.
Yep. But I'm an only child, so I had a lot of me time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that helps. Yeah. That helps. That's good.
Mm-hmm. So playing with GI Joes, I was giving them voices, little characters.
Well, yeah, putting on little things. Did you ever have like a video camera when you were a young man? Did you ever do any sort of filming or anything like that? Or did that not come till later?
I would never record myself. But my dad was always recording me, like when he got a camcorder. And I'll let you into my private life a little bit. I was a dancer back in the day.
I can tell by your legs.
Yeah. So, do you know Chumbawamba by any? I'm taking a leap here.
Chumbawamba. Oh, they're the ones that like thumping them tubs all the time.
Thumping the Tubs. One of my most favorite songs of my life. We would just put that on repeat, and I would dance for the camera.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. If I could afford the rights, we would do it right now.
Ooh, I wish you could afford it. But that was before, you had to worry about followers and likes and comments and dislikes and side comments,
Exactly. So you did some dancing. Did you ever do like a dance in like a professional type of thing? Like what does that entail, the dancing? Or you were just really good at dancing in the living room?
Well, yeah, I don't want to speak for any professional dancers, but you get to a point where you realize you're not good, and you never were, and you never will be. And I think it's a general acceptance of I can't do that no more.
Yeah, that's true. I felt the same way with baseball. I did sort of the same thing. I used to play baseball all the time, and then after a couple of years, I realized, I ain't got no arms. I can't hold this bat. I can't catch a ball.
It takes a couple years to realize you don't have certain body parts.
So I had these dreams, of reaching the major leagues and things like that, like the Baby Ruths and whatever. But you just eventually have to face facts and realize, I just don't have the proper appendages for that. So
So you didn't have like a coach or anyone tell you? You decided that for yourself.
Yeah, no, I figured that out. I was out there, and at the end of the season. There was the coach, he was real good on stats and things like that. He would always keep track of all those things. And I would say, hey, coach, how many home runs did I hit? And he was like, that'd be 0, Saka. And I'd say, oh, how many balls did I catch? And he would say, well, let me check my sheet here. 0. And I said, how many times did I pick up the bat? And he would say, you know what I'm going to say. And I finally was like, yeah. 0.
But you know what? I bet he kept a track of
what's that?
How many games did you show up to?
See, that's what I tried telling him. I said, hey, how many did I show up for? And he said, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I could have sworn he was going to say all of them.
Yeah, I would have, and I think I did. I'm not sure. I mean, there was a few times that there was like, something real good on TV, and I don't know if there was a game that night or not. It's hard to see. I'm not real good with schedules and things like that, Rusty. I just sort of, I'm like, hey, baseball. And then I just go and I'm like, oh, wait, it's the middle of the night. Nobody's playing baseball. Now I just go to bed. And then next time it struck me, I would go and try it and things like that. So, it's hard to say. But I know what you're talking about. So you were out there dancing, and then at some point you realized, well, hey, I'm never going to be prima ballerina, so I guess I'll just give it up.
Oh, completely gave it up. I took a 100% nosedive into the art form, loved it, and 100% got out of the pool, dried off, put my clothes back on, and just went on with my life.
And just moved on. Do you ever just sort of like, I guess it doesn't go away. I mean, every once in a while, I'm sure you just bust a move, and people are like, "Whoa, I didn't know you could bust that move like that."
Well, I'd say when you asked me to do this podcast, since I kind of just gently looked around to see if anyone was watching me, which is typically no, and I cut loose. I cut loose hard, and I cut loose very well. I made my way onto the couch. I took a blanket, wrapped it around. I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, I cut loose. Okay. And then if you notice, it took me a couple minutes to respond to you, but I was dancing.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. I was wondering, I was kind of scared, cause Instagram, I sent you a message on Instagram, and Instagram will tell on you. It says, if your message has been read, it says, oh, he's on Instagram right now. So then I sent the message, and it still was like, hey, oh, he's on right now. And then it had like the little dot, and it said, but he doesn't want to talk to you. And I was like, Instagram, how dare you say that to me? You don't know.
It says everything that I don't want someone to, it says seen. Yes. It says rather not talk right now. Exactly. It says, I just stepped away from my desk. Give me a minute.
Yeah. It knows everything, and it tattletales. It's a big old tattletale. So I knew. So it's good to know that you were just dancing in celebration. And not, just trying to decide if, like, oh my goodness gracious, do I really want to spend some of my valuable time? I mean, you've only got a certain amount of time on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And you choosing to spend a little bit of it talking to me. I mean, that's a great honor. I appreciate that. That is a big decision on how you want to spend your time. So thank you.
Well, not to flip it back on you, but you run this podcast, and you've had some celebrities on your show before.
Oh yeah.
And so just you asking if I wanted, I was shocked. I was like, why? Why do you want me? You've got Tom Green, Josh Robert Thompson on your show. What do you want?
No,
I don't have money.
No, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you as my friend.
Well, I'm here.
You got the talent. You got the whole things. We used to, do all sorts of impressions and things like that. And you were always way better at it. And then I would stop doing them because I'm like, well, what's the point? Because he's going to do it way better than me anyway. So there you go. But you've been doing some stand-up.
We have a friend out here in LA that you used to do impressions of. And I remember.
Oh, really?
I remember. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
His first name starts with a T.
It starts with a T. Okay. It must be.
He's a filmmaker.
Oh, filmmaker. Who's doing impressions on T. Tarantino?
Quentin Tarantino.
I get out of here when you go. You're crazy. You're crazy, Rusty.
Yep.
You're doing the things. Oh, I got a dog barking. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I shouldn't have brought attention to it. That's bad podcasting etiquette right there.
Yeah, just let it be a part of it.
Just let it be a part of it. There's a dog barking.
I have Kevin Bacon in my backyard. You can have a dog.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon out there doing his thing, trying to be all like, oh, look at me in my 6 degrees and all that kind of garbage. I don't need any of that stuff on the old podcast. No. So you're right there doing the things. I understand that you said you have some sort of surprise for me. I don't know if that's what you would lead into. Or if maybe I don't know. I don't know if there's a more natural segue than that. I don't know. I just kind of got the feeling that maybe you were trying to head that direction.
Well, as I'm thinking about it, I realized that I told you that I had a surprise, which negates the whole purpose of having a surprise to begin with. So
No. Because you think about Christmas, right? It always goes back to Christmas. You know that there's a present there. It's wrapped. It's got your name on it, but you don't know what it is. It's still a surprise. It is still a surprise.
I don't know if this has ever happened to you before, but I had someone reach out to me that is a kind of a big fan of yours, and they kind of wanted to just meet you as well. And this is Brush Boy.
Oh my goodness gracious! Look at Brush Boy. Hey, nice to meet you, there, Brush Boy.
This is Brush Boy, and I'll kind of let him kind of take over and say, "See, I go fast. I go real fast."
Oh my goodness gracious! You're gonna introduce me to a speeder now. You're gonna create villains for me, Brush Boy. I see that you have very wide eyes, and you're wearing some safety goggles there. So why is it that you choose the speed?
Yeah, so I ride a motorcycle basically for breakfast. That's all I really do, and I've actually lost both my eyelids because the wind just ripped them off. And there really is no other way. I mean, the people who take their time on the roads, they can just keep doing their thing. Don't mind me. I'm just going to split lanes and get to point A to point B as quickly as possible.
Now, that's a terrible philosophy. First of all, it cost you your eyelids. You used to have eyelids, and then they were ripped out by the outrageous speeds that you went.
You know what? That in comes the safety goggles. It protects from both sun, wind, rain, and that's it. That's
all the things that it protects from. That's true. That's pretty much all the safety goggles that do. They do make you look very stylish, though. Understand your blue bristles there. Even though you are my nemesis, and I don't like anything that you stand for. Your blue bristles are quite vibrant there. And those glasses really bring out the blue of your bristles there. So I do want to compliment you on that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My first job, I wasn't very proud. I was just washing things. People were just handing me plates full of chili with beans and meat, and it gets stuck. And I'm like, what kind of life is this? I'm not for this life. Man, I never ran away from anything faster, and I've been living the fast life since, Sock Cop.
Well, I understand. I can understand that. If you're having to brush things all the time, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a noble profession. But if it's not in your heart, or in your handle to really pursue that, then you do have to chase after your dreams. I just do wish that you would chase after them at a more reasonable speed. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, like you said earlier, we're only on this earth for a certain amount of time, and I got to make sure I get there on time. Sock Cop, do you know what I mean? Come on now, Sock Cop. Yeah, that's a time joke.
I do love time jokes. Oh my goodness gracious, that is fantastic.
He just wanted to stop by.
That is fantastic. Well, like I say, I will be sending him a ticket. I appreciate him turning himself in. So there will be a ticket on the way. But I appreciate you having a guest on the show. I think this is the first show I've ever had 2 guests on. So I'm pretty excited.
I was going to say a guest of a guest.
Yeah.
This is just inception of guestesses.
He's not in the union, is he? Because I do not intend to pay.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah,
the union out in LA is not looking good right now. So
okay, all right, good. Yeah, I just because I will not pay extra.
Is there a cop union?
Yeah, we got some cop unions and things like that. But I don't really get involved in all the politics and all the I'm not in it for the money. Sometimes I don't even cash the paycheck, and then next thing I know, they're like, "Hey, we're evicting you from your house," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. Wait, let me go cash these checks real quick. I forgot because I don't do it for the money. You understand? I do it for stopping the speeders. So sometimes." And
I'm curious about one thing. Let's just say that you do give out some sort of ticket or some sort of citation. Do you receive some sort of commission from that?
No.
Any sort of money?
No, I wish I did actually, because I would probably be a very rich man and would not have to worry about getting evicted on a monthly basis if I was to do that. But I believe that if they were to implement a system like that, because there's a few bad apples in the place, they would just start writing tickets for like imaginary people and stuff like that just to get the 75 cents or whatever. And so I don't trust some of those guys to do that. So it's probably a good system, but I mean, it would be nice if they wanted to float old Sock Cop a few extra bucks for doing such a great job. Chief, if you're listening to the podcast, which I know he doesn't, I mean, it'd be nice.
Does your chief ever listen, or?
No, he hardly ever listens to me anyway. He doesn't really share my ideals about how speeding is a gateway crime, and you stop crime at the root, because somebody speeds. You speed a little bit. Let's say the speed limit's 55, and you look down at your thing down there, and you're doing 57, 58, and then you pass a cop, and you go, "Oh no, I'm speeding. I'm breaking the law." But then that cop just is like, "Man, that's whatever." Then you're like, "Well, what else can I get away with? I bet I could steal some stuff. If they let me do that, why can't I just go steal some stuff?" And then you go to the hardware store and they steal all the bricks and stuff. And then, and next thing you know, you got using Al Capone on your hands. So I'm trying to nip it in the bud.
If you don't receive extra financial gain and your chief barely listens to you at your job, what really is what's your main goal out of all this, other than slowing down people like Brush Boy?
Oh, that's it. I mean, the way that you said it, that's sort of like saying, if I was like, "Hey, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to create world peace or something." You're like, "Well, hey, what else are you trying to do? Is it just the world peace that, what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like come down on you. I'm just saying that's a noble goal. Is stopping the speeders. I got to keep the streets safe and all that kind of stuff. So that's the whole modus operandi. I mean, I don't know if you speak Latin, but that means things that I do. And
I don't, so but I do know someone that does, and he speaks pig Latin.
Brush Boy speaks the pig Latin? Oh my goodness gracious, that's fantastic.
Peak say Usday. Mm-hmm.
See, I have no idea what that. I don't understand that. I just know the regular Latin. I don't speak the pig version.
I'm just going to jump in here for a second. I think that means does speak. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want to jump in.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad. If you could translate, that would be great.
Yep.
Yeah, if you could translate Brush Boy's things there. So, Brush Boy, would you like to talk any more Pig Latin to me? Do you have anything else to say in that language?
Of lay faste oge io. Some of that was interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and say I love to go fast.
You son of a gun. How dare you? You dirty dog. Coming in here on my show talking about your speeding propagandas and things. But look at those bristles. I just can't see it. That's probably why you get away with it. A lot of the cops, that's not me. They get enamored by those bristles.
If you've ever seen bristles that are low and saggy, that's not a happy brush. Right? You get bristles like these, bad boy, you just want to show them off. And what better way to show them off than just doing it real fast?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should slow down and then people could get a better look. They could, like, if you do a little bit of cruising, you go at a reasonable speed and it gives people time to be like, hey, look at them bristles on that guy. Otherwise, it's like, hey, I just saw a blue bird. Was that Sonic the Hedgehog? Okay, I do not want to be compared to no animal because that is what I am not a. All right, I got an idea. How about I do two things. I'm going to go across the screen slowly, and then I'm going to go across the screen real fast, like I typically like to go. And you tell me what looks better. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. I'm going to go real slow first. All right. There's a slow one, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes. There goes Brush Boy, moving at a reasonable speed across the screen, giving you a chance to take in his beauty. And now he's gone. There we go. Okay. All right. This is the speed that I like to go. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready for it. And there goes. Oh, he's gone. I don't even know if that was Brush Boy. So you tell me which was better. I'm gonna go number one. I'm gonna go number one 100%. Come. The first one was much better because when you went fast, it made your glasses go all cattywampus. I know all about that. If I go too fast, if I start, dancing around and stuff like that, the glasses get all cattywampus, and I got to fix them, and it's a whole thing. But you could avoid all that if you just go at a reasonable speed, Brush Boy. I'm not trying to take you to church here. I'm just telling you. No, you and a bunch of other people are always trying to tell me slow down, enjoy life, look at the scenery. Yeah. I'm like, but there's so much scenery, you can't see it all in one day. But if you go too fast, you don't see none of it. See, you just got to slow down and enjoy what you could see and be like, hey, look at that. Isn't that a nice, flower or whatever? And then you just see that, and then everything's groovy, and you just move on at a reasonable speed. It's okay. You'll try. Just try it. Just give it a try. Next couple days, we'll give you like a 7-day guarantee. Well, hold on. When you say flower, what exactly is a flower? Because I see those tall things that like it's brown at the bottom and it's green at the top. And there's tons of them. But what do you mean when you say a flower? Oh yeah. Well, those are trees. I forget that you live in Los Angeles. There's not a whole lot of nature out there. It's sort of like a flower is sort of like a thing. Have you ever bought a greeting card for like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or something like that? Are those the things that you put on people's windshields under their windshield wiper? Well, you could. With their name? I suppose you could. If you didn't want to pay for a stamp, I guess you could do that. But no, you go to the store and they got all these little things. It's like books, but they're really short. There's only like one page in them. Oh, like what I'm talking about? Like an Instagram tag is what you're talking about. Yeah, it's sort of like an Instagram tag, but it's in the store. Yeah, and they cost like $5 or $6. Anyway, a lot of those, they have pictures of flowers. They're like little trees. They have except they're green on the bottom. They got like little sticks. I don't know if could you see Vern the Fern right here? He's sort of like a flower. I've never. What is that? That's Vern the Fern. He's a fern named Vern. He's a good friend of mine. He's kind of my co-host on the show. But he don't say too much, so it's, I was gonna say he doesn't really seem too fond of me. He's not really saying, hey. No, not a whole lot. He doesn't really talk a lot, so don't take it personal. He's a fern, doesn't do a lot of talking, so it's okay. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, no, it's sort of like a flower. So stop and smell the flowers, Brush Boy. That's all I'm saying. Just to be clear, I know what a flower is personally. Okay, good. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, you did. Yeah. tell your friend Brush Boy over there, you need to just teach him a thing or two every once in a while. Because he's a good kid.
No,
he's a good kid. He just, he's just been misled on a couple of things.
Yeah, I think it's just general upbringing, right? How he was taught and how they were taught and how they were taught is, it's just a lineage sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true. And also notice he's not listening, is he?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. He was talking about washing dishes and things like that, but I couldn't help but notice. I'm pretty sure he's a toilet brush. I guess he was ashamed of that. He looked like a toilet brush to me. I don't know. If you're listening to the audio only version of this, it was I'm pretty sure he's a toilet brush.
Yeah, I heard him mention chili and beans and meat, but maybe he thought he was cleaning plates when he was upside down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that may be, I'm no therapist, but I'm thinking, he was talking a lot about chili and things. I think it may be, he's substituting, I think, for, because he can't handle the horrors of what really happened, which led him.
Yeah,
astray.
he did seem to get a little sad there, a little emotional, and how he's never really experienced things. He's dealing with a lot of. Can you imagine spending a lot of your time just upside down and, always leading with the crown of your head in the toilet? Yeah.
Well, not most of my time, but a little time. I went to school. There were bullies there. I got a swirly every once in a while. Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because when
what
you
about
go
wedgies?
No, it's not really so much to wedgie. There's this little area around the the weenus area, but there's nothing really to wedge into. There's no like crevices or anything really. So I was lucky in that regard.
Did anyone ever try to write on you like a cast?
Like every once in a while somebody would, and I was like, no, I don't want no tattoos. Get out of here with your garbage, every once in a while. But you get to be pretty good, especially the glasses. I kind of have. I was able to put little mirrors on the inside of them, so I can see behind me. Which I had to do whenever I had a lot of enemies. So I could always. It's sort of like having eyes in the back of my head, and then if somebody came up, behind me with a Sharpie or something like that, and scoot on out of the way.
Mm-hmm. And how many enemies do you think you actually have, though?
Well, I have a lot of enemies because I write a lot of tickets, and people do not like to be given citations. It's not a pleasant event. People don't like to be told that they're wrong, So you're basically stopping somebody and saying, "Hey, you're living life incorrectly. Okay, now you owe me $200." You know what I mean? It's not a pleasant experience for them. They're not big fans of that. So, then they become my enemies.
Yeah, well, you're attacking their life and not the speed at which they were going. So I can't say that I blame them,
Well, yeah, it's all one and the same. If you're speeding, obviously there's problems in your life. You know what I'm saying? Obviously things are not going great at home. Or you know what I mean? Like there's something else going on. So, it's basically, the way that you choose to drive and the way that you choose to exist is a far inferior way of doing it. Thank you. Give me $200. Have a good day. It's just, people don't like that. I have found people do not like that.
Lucky for me, I guess my Prius doesn't go above 28.
See, that's why I like them Priuses.
I think I'm okay.
You get out there and you crank it up and it takes you where you're going at a reasonable speed. And then it's powered by the sun. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that's good. I like that. And it also doesn't make a whole lot of noise, which is good for when I'm napping.
Right. I think the loudest noise is me jingling my keys to get in.
That's pretty much the loudest noise the Prius makes. A little bit of jingling. Yeah. Does it have a horn, or does it just have a like a button that you hit and it just goes, "Excuse me"?
Well, being in LA, you have to be your own horn.
Oh, really? Oh, so it's sort of like, it's kind of like that in New York too. You like a hey, I'm walking here, you big fat jerk, and so it's like you sort of have to do that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's just the vernacular is different. Yo, bro, surfing, and and then they're like, my B.
Oh, okay, yeah, because people in LA, they don't have enough time to be saying whole words. They say things like, my B.
It's much more efficient to just quickly edit yourself, punctuate.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Hey, speaking of punctuation, you won a television show.
I did.
You won they had a show on the USA Network, I believe, called First Impressions, And what was it? It was some sort of show about. Well, you tell the story. You were there.
Well, a couple of years ago, I saw this. I got an email that was like, "We're making this show about people that can do impressions," and I was like, "Well, I wouldn't mind being in some way a part of that. That'd be cool, just to go and watch it." And at the time, I had you mentioned cameras earlier, and I had this tiny little camera, and I recorded myself. I think I just did a couple of my favorite ones. I sent them in. And I didn't hear from anyone. And I was like, well, that's that.
Well, that's a great story, Rusty. Oh, wait. Oh, you're not. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
Again.
Oh, you did it twice?
Twice. So
did you put on a mustache and say, I'm Rusty Sarhan. I'm different than the other guy.
What I did was I grabbed a toilet brush and I just waved it around in the frame. And I had safety goggles on. And they replied to the second email.
That's how you have to do it. Yeah, that's comedy gold right there.
Again, get denied once and then just say, okay, and then just ask them again. Right?
That's good.
So
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, they saw my second one and they called me in. It was like in an office in Burbank. It was the tiniest office. It was 3 of us and we're cluttered in this room. And okay, let's do your impressions. And I do some impressions. I don't hear from them. 2 weeks go by. I send an email. Hey, thanks for letting me do that. She got back to me. Fast forward, I do this show. The host is Freddie Prinze Jr., who's such a nice guy. Dana Carvey was the creator, equally as nice. And then the celebrity guest was Steve Carell. Ooh. You should reach out to Steve Carell. I'm just going to go ahead and say that he's the nicest human on the planet.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. Float me his number. Yeah. We'll talk to him. That'd be fun.
Okay, I will. I'm sure Kevin has it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like, it's a kind of this game show. They have these little lightning rounds of, okay, do as many impressions as you can or do some of your favorite impressions. And it was me and 2 other contestants. And I don't like to say that I won because, I think that, just being on it was very cool. But yeah, I got to be a part of the show and do what I love to do.
And you won.
And I freaking won it, dude.
You won the thing. Yeah, that's right. Did way better than those other 2 clowns. Did way better.
What they were doing?
They had no idea.
Clowns.
Up there, they were up there like they said, hey, do an impression of Liam Neeson, and they'd be like, hey, it's me, Liam Neeson. Maybe I don't sound like Liam Neeson because I'm actually have a cold.
Hey, you better hurry because I got some skills and I know people and I'm gonna kill you. What?
Oh, and then everybody's like, "Whoa, that's so good, that's so good!" And then here comes Rusty Sarhan strutting up to the microphone like a boss, whammo, saying, "I'm about to drop a bomb on you suckers, suckers." And they're dropping a thing. That's all. So did they? You just got to kind of do your own things? Did you ever have to do like an impression off? Because I know you do. There's certain ones that you sort of all your favorite ones that I've seen you do on the Instagrams and things like that that seem to be fun for you. Were there other people there that did those same impressions and you had to like battle it out?
I feel like everyone can, has some sort of like Robert De Niro or the Morgan Freeman. Everyone's got their version of, the George Bush. And I was like, oh, I want to do something different. I want to do something that makes me laugh. And so at the start of the show, each one of us got a chance to just do like, I think our top 3 and then, go sit down. Second person comes up. And then that's when we played the games. And then at the very end, like, okay, give us your lasting impressions. Do you see what they did there?
I like that.
And whatever, you get like 60 seconds to do whatever you want, just like win the crowd because the crowd voted for you.
Oh, there was a crowd there. Okay, so it wasn't just Steve Carell and the other guys. It was an audience popular vote.
Yeah, there's like 100 people there. It was kind of nerve wracking, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that sounds scary. So you got up there and did the impression. So this was a show. I mean, they had like a season, right? I mean, it was a television show. It wasn't like a special. It was a show.
I think there was like 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that whole season. Did you guys how long did it take to film that? I mean, did you do it all in a day and they just made it look like it was weeks later and made you change shirts, or did you have to go back like every once in a while?
We only did one day, but I'm pretty sure they were filming 2 episodes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because my episode was first, but I'm pretty sure the people that went before us was episode 3. I don't think they knew what episodes they were going to do. I think they were just trying to let's get these 3, and then eventually we'll figure out which episodes to do. Because they didn't say, hey, you guys are gonna be the first episode. They just said, all right, Steve Carell, cool.
Oh, nice. So you didn't know until it started. You started seeing like promos and stuff on TV, and you were like, hey, I know that guy. It's me. I guess I should watch television.
Yeah, you start getting like emails from NBC, like, hey, we're doing promotion. Do you have like a local news station back home that you want to like reach out to? And I'm like, yeah. And I think at the time, NBC 15 reached out, and I forget who I talked to. It wasn't like Rick Peters. Oh, I think someone from Mod Mobillion maybe reached out as well. And they were like, okay, is there anyone else that you think you might want us to reach out to? I was like, yeah, can you try Jimmy Fallon, please? And she's like, oh, I don't think we can do that. No, big fart sound.
Yeah. You could have if she wanted to. Come on.
I mean, it's an email. How hard is it to email Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah. I mean, it's just Jimmy Fallon at jimmyfallon.com. I mean, it's right there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. Just email. I mean, everybody knows everybody. So that's fantastic. Was there any sort of like cash prize or a hearty handshake or anything involved with winning the thing?
There was both. There was cash prize, and then at the end, all 3 of us got to go and meet Dana and Steve and Freddie. I forget what the bar was called. It was somewhere in Koreatown, but there was like this tiny little patio, where everyone could just like sit and just kind of kick back and relax and talk. And, just Dana and Steve, and they're asking about our lives. So what's next for you guys? That was really cool. And Steve loved my Sharon Osbourne. He was obsessed. He was like, he was so infatuated with I guess sometimes it's just the sound that comes out of, what you see, they probably wouldn't expect, that sound coming from me. So I was just like, you thought that was funny?
I just do that in the shower. This is fun. I didn't know it was like a thing.
I poop and I do a little Sharon Osbourne. Oh, that's a lot, dear. And he thought it was funny.
Was that? Did you just play do you have a device in your pocket with sound recordings from Sharon Osbourne?
Well, I have it set whenever I fart, it sounds like Sharon Osbourne.
Okay. All right. Okay. There you go. That's pretty good. That's fantastic. That's a really good Sharon Osbourne, because I feel like I've heard you do the Sharon Osbourne before, and it just keeps getting better. I think you sound more like Sharon Osbourne than Sharon Osbourne does now at this point.
I feel like she's been one of my longest running voices that I've done. I hope that you would think that my voice going this deep wouldn't go that high. I hope I don't hit puberty at one point, and then I'll never be able to. And then it'll be gone, to do that voice again.
Yeah, yep. That'd be a shame with it. That'd be a loss. That'd be a big
you
loss.
Do impressions though. I'd love to hear some voices you do. Do you do like impressions of your other cops?
Yeah, every once in a while, I do. I do an impression. I'm not good at it. I ain't gonna win no Steve Carell contest and nothing like that. But every once in a while, I'll do a little thing like sometimes the chief will make me mad, and I'll be like, hey, look at me, I'm the chief. Doodly doodly doots. I'm just gonna walk around the chief over here. Maybe I'll chief over there. A big fat jerk and do the thing. I mean, he's a great guy. He usually does pretty good. You know what I mean? But every once in a while, he's your boss. He, gets on your nerves and things like that. And then there's this guy at the post office. I'm always having to go to the post office and mail some letters and things like that. And he's just a big fat jerk. And
What's
so sometimes his name's Robert. And sometimes I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm Robert. Doodly doots. I work at the post office. Hey, you want some stamps? You gotta come through me. I'm the stamp man. Doodly doodly. Like big fat jerk. But nobody knows him. See, that's the problem. I mean, it's a spot on impression. It sounds exactly like him. But I mean, unless you go to that post office at the time that I did, you don't know. You know what I mean? He's not a famous person. So I mean, I'm really good at that impression, but you just have to take my word for it because you don't know the guy. So that's
what about a grocery store? Like I feel like a lot of people go to the same grocery stores. They're like a clerk that you think that everyone would know? Because you're right, the post office, not many people go to the post office, and no one mails letters.
Yeah,
but the grocery store, people go to that.
People do go get groceries a lot. There is this lady named Regina that always gives me a hard time doing things, and I don't like going through her line. And but a few people know her because there's only a few people working at the grocery store. I mean, it's not like they have like 100 employees. I mean, it's like a small town grocery store, So sometimes, if I'm at a party, I can usually get a couple people on my side. If I'm like, hey, you guys go to the grocery store? And they're like, yeah, we're going to the grocery store. I'm like, hey, you guys know Regina? And they'll be like, yeah, I know Regina. And I'll say, hey, here's my impression of Regina. Hey, Dooley. Hey, it's me, Regina. I'm working at the grocery store. Hey, you wanna buy groceries? You gotta come through me. I'm the grocery lady. Doodly doo. So then everybody laughs and stuff like that, But sounds just like her. But again, you have to go to that grocery store. You see, you won't know. I mean, it's a very specific audience. I'm not gonna go viral with my impression of Regina from the grocery store because people were like, okay, whatever. They don't care, That's why you have to do impressions of celebrities. Because if you just do impressions of, the guy that cuts your hair, nobody cares,
Well, hopefully Regina goes viral, because then you can do an impression of her.
That's good. Maybe I should, do some sort of TikTok about, maybe I could set her up for one of those pranks or something that people like so much and get her to go viral. And then I can piggyback
Regina,
on top of that.
the grocery lady. Yeah, Regina the grocery lady already has a nice little ring to it.
Yeah, I could see that hashtag trending, Regina the grocery lady. Because that people do that. They'll just assign titles to people and have them trend.
That's not that many letters either.
No, it's not that many. I think you can have like 140 or whatever. So I mean, that's way under that. So it's no big deal. It's no big deal at all. Do you mess around on the Twitters very much? I don't see you on there. I see you on the Instagram every once in a while. Where can
man?
What do you do?
I don't know. I got a little burnt out on Twitter. I think I don't know. There's just so much going on. There's so much to look at. There's this side, and then there's this side, and there's something in here that goes this way, but it also goes this way. Yeah. And there's a search bar, and then there's
there is a lot.
Twitter. Instagram gives me this, and then it gives me this, and I can like it or I can not like it,
Yeah.
I'd say, recently I made a video. I did some impressions of some people on The Office. I put that on my Instagram and on my TikTok. So if you want to watch that, you can watch that.
Oh, you do the TikToks too? You do the TikToks?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
I'm very new to that. I'm very new to that. I only have like 6 or 7 videos. For a while I was doing this, you know, deep fake, right?
Yeah, I know deep fakes. Yeah. That's what they do the computer things and make it look like people saying stuff. See, that would be perfect for you because then you could make it look like it and then you do the voice and then whammo.
Yeah, I think I did that with Sharon Osbourne. I think I did it with Wanda Sykes and some other people, some other celebrities. And I'll be honest, it wasn't really the same. I think it might be a little funnier to not see the face because it wasn't getting the response I was wanting. I was like, well, again, I'll give up from being the dancer that I am.
Yeah,
but all the time, yeah. I don't know. TikTok is kind of like Twitter to me. There's a lot going on, and I don't really get it.
Yeah, no, I did the thing. Everybody kept telling me, they said, "Oh, Sock Cop, you need to get on TikTok. Everybody love you on TikTok if you get that." So I was like, okay, well, let's check this thing out. So I download this app, and then I touch the little thing, open up TikTok.com or whatever, and then whammo, there's like a bunch of 14-year-olds just screaming at me, and I'm like, so I threw the phone across the room. I didn't touch it for a month after that. I was scared. I was very frightened. I didn't know what was going on. And it took a long time for me to try it again. And I have no idea what's going on. Rusty, I watch films on the VHS. You know what I mean? I'm a simple man. I don't need all this Blu-ray technology with all its menus and special features and all this. I'm a simple man. I like my entertainment. And then I like to hit stop. And then I like to rewind it. But yeah, you can't do any of that on TikTok. It's just like video. Hey, well, you like that video? Watch this video. Hey, look at this guy. He's doing this thing. Wow, look at this guy. He's doing this thing. And it never stops. It never stops.
Well, they have filters which can actually enhance the video watching experience. It can turn it into, it can bring out certain colors. It can make it black and white. It can make it, sepia tone.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
That might be what you need.
Yeah, I need something to slow it down a little bit. It's too fast. It's too much. It's like I need a break. There's no, you don't get no breaks in it. It's just constant garbage at the, it just keeps going. So I've tried to do a few things on there, but it's frightening. It's frightening. It's like trying to teach a dinosaur how to use a typewriter. You know what I mean? I mean, you could do it. It's been done, but it takes a lot of work.
Which dinosaur?
Velociraptor. The claws make it pretty good. They're actually the claws of a Velociraptor are perfectly spaced for the QWERTY keyboard, so they're able to actually use both claws, and they don't actually have to move.
Smith Corona typewriter.
Yeah. Just one of those kind of typewriters. It's perfectly sized forward. Not a lot of people know that, and because you teach a Velociraptor to type. And the only thing it types is rah, 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 rah. You know what I mean? Because that's all it knows.
Well, typewriter and Velociraptor already sound so much alike.
This is true.
It was probably made for the hand positioning of a Velociraptor.
Those little claws.
I'm working with limited screen, so I can't give you the best impression of a dinosaur that I really want to give you.
Yeah, we're working on an old tube TV with the old VCR. One of these days, I'll upgrade it to one of them, 79-inch horsepower TVs or whatever, and and we'll have more real estate. But this is what I'm working with right now.
What's the most recent movie that was in this? I see that it says I'm working with the VHS right now. Mm-hmm. What's the most recent movie in here?
Well, I'm a big Christmas fan, and so I was watching some Christmas Vacation. Even though I watched it a bunch during Christmas time, this Christmas was so great because I didn't have to go and visit all these people. I was just able to just sort of hang out and watch Christmas movies and have me some eggnog and do the things. And so I miss it so much. So I actually popped this in the other day and watched some Christmas Vacation, just pretended it was like a month ago.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might be my favorite movie of all time.
Oh,
I don't know if you have your own pair of Lampoon socks, but I do.
Oh, That's cool.
Got a nice shirt, a sweater as well.
Oh, I had no idea that you were merchandised out like that. I didn't know. I've seen people have like the little moose cups and stuff like they use in the movie. I've seen people have that, but I've never seen no socks or no sweatpants or whatever.
How much of that movie do you think you can quote?
Oh man, by the fact of you asking me that question, I'm gonna go ahead and say not enough. Not enough. Okay. I think I could do a few quotes from that, but just by the fact that you own the socks and ask me that question, I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I could just go back and forth with you on it, because I don't really, with any movie, I don't pay attention to like the specific words necessarily. I just get like the gist of what they're saying. So me quoting Christmas Vacation will be like, "Hey, I'll be Clark Griswold. This is he's the main character. Yeah, this is the Clark Griswold. Like if we was quoting it or whatever, I'd be like, "Hey, look, I'm Clark Griswold, and I just put a whole bunch of lights on the house, and I'm trying to plug them in, but it ain't working for some reason. Isn't that wacky?" Like that's basically what happened. I just don't remember the exact words they said. You know what I mean? So I mean, I've seen the movie. I know, I know basically what happens. There's Christmas and people come over and hijinks ensue. But the details. There's a squirrel involved. I like the squirrel. That part's really fun.
Oh, you have a squirrel impression?
Yeah, I got a squirrel impression. You ready?
Oh.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a squirrel. Hey, I'm going to hide some nuts over here, and then maybe I'm going to run up that tree if I feel like it later. Isn't that neat? What do you think about that? Hey, look at my tail. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's the tail sound. The little whooshy tail. That's my squirrel impression.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, that's what you ever see them do that thing? They actually made a robot squirrel. This is actually a government funded project. They made a robot squirrel to study how the squirrel tail how snakes look at squirrels' tails or something like that. I don't know. You can look it up, but there's a robot squirrel tail that exists out there that perfectly mimics like the floppiness of the squirrel tail. I'll try and do it like this, but yeah, I'm no robot, but the squirrel tail doing the floppiness like that.
And you said to determine how snakes look at the tail?
Something like that. I think they're trying to figure out how squirrels communicate. So I think they took the robot. I think they taught the robot how to tell the other squirrels that there was a snake nearby. So then they took a snake, and then they were like, "Hey." And then they got the robot to tell the other squirrels that there was a snake nearby. And then they were seeing if the other squirrels would be like, "Holy cow, he said there's a snake, let's book it." And then they would leave.
So there's a specific way that the tail kind of reacts to the presence of a snake.
Yeah, that's how they talk.
Yeah,
that's what I would think too. It'd be sort of like a like a type of thing. But I've never seen a squirrel's tail do that. But I've also never seen a squirrel telling other squirrels about a snake that I know of. So it's hard to say. But anyway, the point is, nature's amazing. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I didn't know that was their like top predator, snakes.
Yeah,
I thought it was a falcon or a hawk
or kids with BB guns.
Oof.
That'll do it too.
Or people driving fast.
Oh, people driving fast. Yep, there we go. Bringing it full circle. That's exactly how it goes. Bringing it full circle to not be driving fast. Don't want to be doing that because you could run over a squirrel. And then how you going to feel? Squirrel killers.
Well, then we lose research.
Yeah, then we have no idea. Then we built this robot squirrel for nothing.
Right.
And we can't have that. Well, Rusty Sarhan, thank you so much for talking to me today. This was so much fun. If people want to reach out to you, and I'm sure they will, because you're a very attractive man, how can they reach out to you?
They can call me anytime, any day.
I'll edit it later. I'll just flash your phone number across the screen. They can call or text anytime.
Instagram seems to be what everyone's doing these days. So I got it for that specific reason to join that party. Instagram, TikTok.
What is are you just Rusty Sarhan? If I type Rusty Sarhan, RUSTYSARHAN, if I type that into my internet, it'll come up.
If you type that into the internet, some stuff will pop up. However, on TikTok, it's not my name. It's at a few impressions.
At a few impressions. That's pretty good. I like that. That's
everything
good.
else, the Twitter, which I have, just to follow some people, I guess, that's Rusty Sarhan. If it's got the icon on the phone, just type in my freaking name, man.
Yeah, just do the thing. It's there. Have you ever met another Rusty Sarhan?
I thought I did once, and then I realized their name was not my name, and then it turned out to be a whole lie. So no. Have you ever met another sock cop?
No, I haven't met another sock cop. No, not a bit. So we both have unique names, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
like
just
that.
us.
Yeah, you can just type in sock cop. Except there was a company that makes little clips that you put on socks to keep them together in the dryer, and they named it a sock cop. Oh. So they're squatting on the domain and the add sock cop and stuff like that. So that's why I got to have all these wacky names, because those jerks have the things, which is a shame.
Well, I'm not gonna buy their product, just so they know.
Yeah.
But if you come out with is there sock cop merchandise?
Oh yeah. No, I got t-shirts. I got a book. I wrote a book. I got all kind of stuff out there. People know.
Okay. Well, sockcop.com, is that where I can buy some stuff?
Just Google it. I don't even think I have a website anymore. I have to double check. Do you have a website? Is it rustysarhan.com?
You know what? You got to pay to have that, and I think I have the free version.
Oh,
so
you and me both.
It's on my it's on my Instagram. So it's like the first thing that you see. It's like, here's my name, and then here's just another site where you can see me again.
Yeah.
What's the point of having a website and an why do I need all of it?
Well, I like your website because there's like a picture of you jumping. That's real cool. I like that picture. It's pretty cool. So you just go to brushboy.com. And you can find out anything you need to know about Rusty Sarhan.
Anything you need. We have Brush Boy memorabilia. We have brushes.
Yep, you can buy your own brush.
And then we have signs that say "down with speed limits."
Well, I don't like that. I'll try and get that banned off the internet. But other than that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Rusty Sarhan, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You have a good day.
Thank you so much, Sock Cop.
I had a blast talking to that man, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you're interested in learning more about Rusty Sarhan, which, to be honest, I know you are. Especially if you watch the video portion. If you're just listening to this, I mean, I appreciate you, but you really should watch the video version of this, because Rusty he's too handsome to be absorbed in audio only mode. He's just too handsome. This man, he's got a face that the camera was invented. They invented the camera and they said, one of these days, this is going to capture the glorious visage of Rusty Sarhan. And that's the whole reason they made the camera. And you can follow him on Twitter, Instagram, all that garbage, at Rusty Sarhan, RUSTYSARHAN. I don't know what that name is from. Is it Irish? I don't know. I'm not sure what it's from. I should have asked him that, but I didn't. I don't take notes or anything. I just sort of ask questions as they come to me, which is probably not the best way to do these things. But anyway, I appreciate you very much for listening to the Sockcast. Hope you had a good time. I had a fantastic time. And even if you didn't have a good time, I had a good time. So, I guess that makes me the winner. But anyways, check out the past episodes if you're so interested, and do the things. And please enjoy all of these podcasts at a reasonable speed. And don't be speeding. And always remember that Sock Cop loves you. We'll see you next time here on the Sockcast.
You have reached the end of this episode. Please exit the podcast at a reasonable speed.